Snozberries.
Snozberries.
Mountain flowers.
Old Reggie didn't say he needed any herbs, so I'm just gonna ignore him.
Oh, Reggie.
Old Reggie.
Oh,
That's my
Reggie.
boss, man.
What is it?
Make sure you collect your Nern root.
That's not technically boss. Master, he's teaching me more stuff about potions, but not really. I'm just using him for money. I'm pretending to be ignorant to the ways of the potion.
Potion ignorance.
Oh, I guess I need to actually join the campaign again.
Oh my god, that looks delicious.
What does?
It's a grilled cheese sandwich with, it looks like Gouda and bacon.
All Gouda, your bacon.
Like it looks like smoked Gouda and some bacon on there.
All bacon is Gouda.
You're dead, bitch. Oh, of course. I've got GA.
Smoked Gouda.
You a little smoke good for the road? Yeah?
I guess I can wait.
All right, Alec.
All right, am I like super underleveled now, or what?
I know. We just had a whole bunch of conversations.
Why are we fucked, Alec?
Well, who said we're fucked?
That's what you said.
No, I
Yeah,
said
it
we
is
fucked
actually, I
up.
think, literally what you said.
I said we fucked up
How did you fuck up?
Oh.
because we didn't ask the right questions.
There were a couple questions I thought of that I did not ask.
Oh, I mean, I have a whole slew of things that need to be talked about, but they're just
Did
not
we
going
ask
to be
the
talked
wrong
about.
questions?
Why aren't they going to be talked about?
Because I'm going to keep them as close to my chest as I possibly can.
Hey, does it show my guy up at the top left corner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it not show it to you? I had to restart my game to get mine to show.
Oh,
I just had to redo that too.
We are still in. We haven't actually left yet, have we?
No.
Yeah, so we're still
We're
like with Unity.
just about to.
Yes.
Hey, do we want to ask Unity if
Oh yeah, we're getting drunk with Unity.
if Kyla's the Gametti guy's daughter?
Kylo Ren?
It's not Kylan, but
Do you want we know that for a fact?
well, no, we know that Kylan is not Gametti's daughter.
We do.
I mean, we were
how do we
pretty
know
sure.
that?
No, because he said when we asked him about that story, he said it was relatively recently. They just took Arya, like within months.
Like we
Who
were,
is
we were
Gametti's daughter,
thinking that the little girl that he gave the
who ran up and gave him a sweet cake.
yeah.
Yeah, that 100%.
It's 100% not.
No,
No,
is.
we think that one is Gametti's daughter.
So, out of curiosity, because when I heard that original story,
I feel like 100% might be a little bit too strong.
I thought that little girl just like passed out from watching her father die. Did you guys catch that she fell out a window?
No.
No,
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not crazy.
she fell out of a window.
Well, so it says she passed out and then was falling, and she was looking out the window at her dad. Like she was like, I guess in a tower or on the wall or something like that. She was looking at her dad,
Yeah.
saw her dad die. I just
Yeah,
thought
right.
she like passed out and fell to the
Yeah,
ground.
I was thinking like, you know, those scenes when people fall like backwards and then like the world swallows their vision. That's what I envisioned.
Yeah. So wait. So she's dead.
Well,
Well,
she died.
What do you
I
mean?
didn't
Well,
catch
we-
that at all. I was not paying attention close enough, I guess.
Well,
No.
in this particular scenario, because I was talking to Seti about this, and he's like, no, she died. I was like, wait, what? No, she passed out. He's like, and then fell and died.
I
No.
didn't catch it. I didn't catch
No,
that.
I don't even know if that's caught. That was. I think this is addendum.
Here's the paragraph.
That's what I think.
Addendum.
That's what I think.
Here's the
This is
paragraph
added
that
after
y'all
the
are
fact.
interested in. Unity stepped forward and drove his long sword into her father's chest. Scarlet glistened onto the scorched grass. Her father fell to his knees. She screamed and reached for him. Her hand slipped
Okay.
away from the windowsill. There was a moment of weightlessness, then darkness.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess that. I mean,
I
rereading
thought she
it.
just passed out, but I guess
No,
it-
here's the thing. I'm only hearing that way if I specifically think of her falling out of the
agreed
window.
with. I do agree.
If I don't think of it that way, it still sounds like
Yeah, it
literally that's
involves-
what people do when they faint. It's identical to that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it did also say that she reached for her father, which he was
Yeah, I think,
outside
like,
too.
Reach out in the window and
Yeah.
still fall back and like pass out.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
I'm still picturing like
like,
Casablanca
obviously she wasn't gonna
style,
grab
like over the top theatrics on the
Yeah,
reaching.
same. That's kind of
not
what I
like,
thought. Too.
but
So last
Okay.
week, I thought that that little girl. I was like, that's probably her. She's like the same age. She
I mean,
likes sweet cakes. The sweet cakes. And then he said that she died, and I was like, oh. And I was like, well, I mean, he could also just bring people back to life. Because like,
so
what
can
level in D&D? What level is like the revive spell?
I. 10.
Okay. So
How
this guy
tall
is-
is the tower? How tall is the tower
Yeah, I
that
was
she
gonna say,
was
like,
in?
it has to be reparable damage. Like you can't.
How many D10s did she take?
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
maybe
like,
she rolled a
Homegirl-
20 and call out on the edge of the wall.
Homegirl could have like been turned into fucking dust on the pavement. You know what I'm saying? Like she could be looking like petroleum jelly, and you don't get revived from petroleum jelly.
No,
yes,
that's
you technically
hard
have
to
to have
come
a
back
body
from.
part.
How far do you have to fall to like disintegrate to nothing? Like really far, I feel like.
Well, it depends on what her body composition is.
I don't know. I
it
feel
matters
like I mean,
what are you
yeah, she'll be
falling
like
onto?
severely mutilated, but I feel like it'll just be a bunch of broken bones.
Was she
Yeah,
like a
black-
mummy
yeah,
ahead of that? Because mummies fall apart real easy. So,
Did she fall on something soft below?
oh, that's a good point. She could have fallen in like a big old like trailer of hay, like in Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed.
Like
Yeah.
Or
Assassin's
a
Creed. I mean, she
moat.
could have,
Could have been a moat.
Could have been about.
but it also
It's-
could have been paver stones.
If I ever
Could have
have
been a
a-
boat in the moat.
If I ever have a house with really high windows, I'm definitely putting bales of hay underneath everyone.
Hey, you got some horses over there? Nope.
Nope. Watch this.
So, hey, Alec, for out of curiosity, why do you want to keep your questions so close to your chest?
Because they're not all questions.
You don't trust us? You don't trust
Well,
your
it's cold outside.
partners?
What about your
I was
king?
gonna say, like, what other reason would there be to keep them close to your chest besides keeping
Or-
them warm?
You don't trust our DM.
All of the above.
I was gonna say D all of
Why
the
don't you
above.
trust us?
Fuck yourself.
Fuck.
you
He's
silly
never
fucking
trusted us. What are you
podcast.
talking about? We're hooligans.
A little someone's gonna try and trade secrets away for pennies or a rock or something.
Who?
He has assured me that the storyline is set in stone and nothing we say is going to change anything.
Yes, I would understand that.
I disagree. I'm going to make this change. If it's the last thing that my little halfling ass does,
I mean, he already added the addendum to for her to die.
that's a good
Exactly.
point. We've seen addendums in the past.
It turns out
Well-
we're Unity.
We're all here.
Yeah. I would like to.
Let's all just jerk each other off and call it a night.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I'm already halfway there.
Wait,
There's
what?
kids on this call.
So, what was your discovery on the names last week after a couple of people got off?
That you should probably research every single name.
Like to plead the fifth.
Nope.
Alec, why are you this way?
Yeah, I don't
just like the-
understand.
I just like the way he phrased that question.
Um,
How are you?
I can't.
Excuse
well, there's a few different things that I have just thinking back on previous sessions and other things that have recently come to light that were basically shoved in my face. That left me with no decision but to spend hours researching.
Oh no.
Guess we'll start off with my first Google tab.
Oh, gosh.
He's got him open.
So we're gonna
Homeboy-
begin at paragraph 1, line
Yes.
16,
Paragraph 1, section 8.
subsection 6.
Yes. Unity. For all those who were not either paying attention or were not here last week, lit up like a basically like the equivalent brightness of a sun when I looked through the Eye of Zeal at him.
Okay.
And I would like for everyone to just take a moment and pause and read what the giant words on the front of your fantasy ground says.
Wow.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay. Tracking.
Am I still holding on, Parker?
It's not a fantasy grounds. What do you...
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
background of fantasy
giant
grounds.
red sun
okay.
rises in the middle of
I
fantasy.
had my class sheet.
Yes. So he literally lit up like the sun.
It's like super in your face.
Yes, one of the things that was in your face. The second thing that was thrown in our face was the fact that he signed his banknote as Era. For those of you who are not familiar with Akkadian and Mesopotamian mythology,
Oh yeah, I remember that class.
Hey, you took a class on it?
No, are you fucking nuts?
No, but all of us
No,
researched
because
it for one of the
nobody
the
talks about it.
tricks.
That's what's kind of crazy
Yeah.
about it.
We had to
Era
research it.
is the god of war and plagues.
Okay.
So two things can be either derived from this, or we can be stretching and expect a plot twist like we saw in Wonder Woman. That Unity himself is Era, where he is actually a bringer of pestilence and war, and is uniting, quote unquote, the people in order to play out his sick game so that, you know, he can be worshipped again as a god of war. The second thing is that going back and reading like 90% of the lore about Mesoponata is that all of this story is very much so based upon the gods either being neglected or forgotten about, and maybe they're a little pissed. It is possible that there's a lot more gods who are in play that we are that are maybe not as prevalent or like showing themselves yet.
Demigods.
I like to hear. I'm
There
sorry to
are...
interrupt.
No, it's okay.
Ryan, are you recording this session? Like,
Absolutely.
are you gonna be recording them from now on?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, sorry. I just for review if I need it. So
Yep.
Go
That's
ahead.
exactly what it's for.
Everything you say and will say will
I know,
be used
kidding.
to you in a court of law.
There are
I love George Floyd.
there are a lot of different things about Era's like back history. But one of them is his ties to the underworld, which really made me think about some things that we've seen in our past, like tablets, specifically ancient dwarven tablets that are very similar to Aztecian gods. Specifically talking about the two twins who traveled to and from the land of the dead to retrieve souls, and had to face the Lord and Lady of the land of the dead, which that one is slightly newer and has not been looked into as much. But one of the things that bothered me about last session was how much emphasis Unity put on us going to get this staff of power for him, and that he would possibly buy it from us because, you know, that's what we do. And what use would a giant, you know, magical, powerful staff that we have no idea what it does? What use would that be for us? But you know, maybe in the hands of an actual deity, it would be something that would be either dangerous or like the only thing that can actually hurt him. The next epiphany was that of Kylan, who, based on a 5-minute Google search, is referring to a Chinese dragon that is, referenced in lots of Chinese mythology, but is basically, believe it was the symbol of fortune and luck, if I remember correctly. But there were a few different Chinese dragons, I guess, as well. But the specific nature of the Kylan was one of the 4 divine creatures. And so basically what we, have is possibly someone who is considered good fortune and luck, or is something else very much so different. We also have other things to think about, considering that her last name is like a tribe from Mesopotamia, and was one of the like Akkadian villages that basically, I think at some point was forced to flee. So I don't know really what all it has to do with things, but I don't know if her family name is that of a important one, or is that of like refugees from somewhere. The next thing, which is like slightly less important, is the fact that Ansar and Kishar are, I think, brother and sister, and that they are some of the eldest gods in the Mesopotamian pantheon, and have to deal with the creation of Enlil, which I believe Enlil was supposed to be the world for a different deity, which I need to find that tab as well. But there was another deity which has not come up yet, so I will leave him out. But basically, there's a lot of
What's his name so I can add him in real quick?
I'm sure Marduk is already somewhere in here.
Marduk was the one that was trying to. That was like the one we went down the trail on for that.
Yeah, he's
One of
the
the
god
hints.
who.
Hence, yeah.
Yeah,
He and,
he was
he
like
and
one of the
Tiamat
primary rulers.
are evil to each other, hate each other.
But Era tricked Marduk into giving up his rule of the earth.
Did you also do some research on any of the names of the towns?
Ansar and Kishar would be 2 of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did Kish. I looked up Kishar. I just looked up Mesoponata, but I don't think. has some
Mesoponata
relevance?
has to deal with the fact that he was the first
Right, the ruler, the emperor. guy.
leader of the first dynasty for Sumeria.
Yeah.
So On, Enlil, and Enki are the 3 supreme gods
Yes.
in Mesoponata, or not Mesoponata, Mesopotamia, which I'm assuming is somewhat of the same basis as the world we're in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those, like, there's the Enlil and Ninlu, who were also part of the Sumerian creation myth. There's a lot of different creation myths, I guess, would be the correct way to phrase it, that, they created a world. There was one where, I believe it was Marduk, but I need to go back and read his thing again. Because one of them, Marduk is one of the most complex ones. Where I can't remember if he was the one that gets separated, or if he's the one that does the separating.
For what? Separating of what?
Basically, they take things away from him, and I thought they created the Earth for Marduk. Is what I remember reading. But
I don't remember seeing that, but I remember his thing being slightly different.
because he's the one that killed Tiamat.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he and Tiamat were like, what is that word called? Rivals.
Yes, Nemesis is.
Nemesis, that's a good one.
I need one of those.
He became the Lord of Heavens and Earth, but basically they took that away from him.
I can't be a great hero without an arch nemesis.
And along with that point, it was just one of those things that all these things happened, and we have not necessarily. We haven't heard Marduk yet, though, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mespanata was just a king in Ur, but he, I believe, was the first king of the first dynasty. Which would, I guess, just go to reference that all of this is coming back from the Mesopotamian era. There's a lot of lore on Kish and Kishar and Kesh. There's King of Kesh, as well as other things. There's something else.
Do you think there's any significance to Makdun and meaning that it's like supposed to mean like employer or master?
I thought it was teacher or.
Uh,
Well, I guess it is master employer.
yeah, it means teachers in there too. But seeing as that's the primary like enemy or target right now of Unity.
I'm not exactly sure what that would have to do with it.
I'm not sure. That's why I was asking.
Because I know that a lot of the city names don't have as much importance
as the yeah. But like when I look up like Kishar, I'm like, well, that has some significance. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Yes. I'm still unsure of,
I see.
what is possibly in the temple, or why we would be enticed to go to said temple. I am unsure of why Unity is doing what he's doing. I'm also assuming that his story about being a kid from the slums is like partially true. Because I don't know if you guys remember the story that he gave us about how, one day he just woke up and.
So I think it is all true, but he just omitted some things. So I bet you if we ask him, because we're still with him, we're drinking. I bet you ask him when that happened, he would say 15 years ago, because it's going to coincide when Kylan was born.
Interesting.
When he awoke to his power, I think it's going to coincide with when Kylan was born, because that's what Kylan does. She announces.
Yeah. She's a prophet of sorts.
And I still think he was just a normal kid who had the right emotional drive essentially at that point when he watched all his friends get slaughtered to be possessed.
Yep. The other thing that I would like to know at some point is what they've done with the Augustus and Artemis assassins. Because of certain things that we should probably look into, or possibly just say, hey, like, we'll go deal with them for you if you haven't dealt with them yet.
Yeah,
Sounds.
that's actually a really good way to get out of this, or to like, you know, kind of save him getting good with both sides.
Because we can report back to whatever we want.
Or we can do the score thing where we're like, see that land? Run, boy.
No, because then he comes back and kicks us off Pride Rock, and then we lose.
Dude, that's the best part though. But for a while, we get to have a harem of all the lionesses and all the fucking hyenas are coming in. And
Yeah.
Maybe this is all just an elaborate ruse with all of these different Mesopotamian, Babylonian shit, so that we can fight Tiamat at the end of the road.
You don't think fighting?
prepared.
What?
I didn't hear what you said in between that.
I was just saying.
I didn't hear what Ryan said.
Oh, I didn't know he spoke.
I didn't know you spoke either.
Neither did I.
I've been
You're
on
hearing,
mute.
you're hearing him in your head now.
Yeah, I've been on mute.
Okay. I thought somebody said something after you said so we could fight Tiamat at the end.
Yeah, and then I heard Jake. And then I heard you talk.
Gotcha. I heard something in between.
Hmm.
Well,
It's whittling underneath the skin.
yes.
He hears Ryan in his sleep.
That is most of what I found.
I'm on mute, so you can't hear my furious typing.
He's changing. Addendum 5.
She fell out and died. Oh, shit.
Is there any way for us to know when he changes our notes?
Get the fucking white out, boy.
At the point he starts erasing our stuff, like we can't remember.
However, I will tell you that he did delete the story of the girl from Arwia.
What?
What?
It's in the Discord.
The changing of notes is like such a good idea for like a ploy. I'm not even kidding. Like I
Just
love
a subtle
that.
mind fuck. You're like, wait a minute. What?
Or are you talking about on the
what?
World Anvil?
Because like that's
no,
so...
I had it in.
Because that could be like seen as like
Had it as
altering
a
one's
note?
memories or whatever.
Yeah, I had it as a note, and it's empty now.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. I didn't do that. I don't
We haven't
change those
taken
stuff.
any mind-altering substances.
That would
Except
be
that one
so. That's such a good idea, though.
I will say that I haven't typed a single thing
Yes, as he muted
into
himself
my
to furiously
into
type.
my notes. No, my dogs were wrestling with each other. Yeah, exactly.
It's also possible that it was just too big to.
Show up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But if anybody else has thought of anything,
No, I do like the idea of offering to go take care of the hit squad for him.
that sounds scary.
About the only thing that I thought of that you didn't cover was the Aaron's the god of pestilence, like or plague, and that's what I kind of think is at the temple. It's like a plague.
The one that everyone goes into and then dies afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do think that might be like a base of. I think we'll find out more about him in there.
Right.
interesting.
Which could possibly lead to the idea of having multiple and possibly lesser than gods, like with the guy in the tomb, and then Unity himself, and then possibly the Emperor, and so on and so forth. Well, all right then. Shall we continue to get drunk with Unity and offer up our services?
Oh, I think
I've already offered up my services.
do we want to? I think I'm going to ask him two things. One, how long he's had his power for, just to find out if it coincides.
He's gonna look Kylan straight in the eyes and ask her how old she is.
Yeah, and then. Oh shit! What was the other one?
I wonder if people with powers can sense the power of other people. Like, does Unity know that Kylan has a lot of power, or does Kylan know he has a lot of power?
Does she have a lot of power?
Well,
She's fairly strong.
yeah, as I say, out of like,
She
well,
is?
her not necessarily like strong, but like if you look through the glass thingy, he's basically the sun, but she's pretty bright compared to most people too.
No, I mean we've only seen what 2 people through it so far.
I mean, but didn't we
no,
say
no, no.
when we walked into Kishar, we looked around and there were some dull
Yeah, I was
looking
saying.
lights and stuff.
there were a few people in Kishar that just had like a dull glow around them. They weren't. They were
Yeah, that's
nothing
the only thing we've seen so far is people with dull glows, and then there's Kylan, and then now Unity, who's a light bulb.
Yeah. I know that Unity was like actually like the sun bright,
Mm-hmm.
and Kylan was, streaks of light through her veins. Which I think we've more or less decided that we understand Kylan. But I don't really know what other importance she would have other than just the fact that we know that she was born and is supposed to be born when something like Era is born or like comes into play.
Alec, I will say you missed one thing.
I'm sure I probably missed a lot.
Continent names.
Just like that, huh?
Find that world map again.
I have it pinned.
Giant ass map.
The one that's not quite done yet.
I just texted her that.
Memagal. Zabug. Hey, I recognize that name.
Is anyone else's audio cutting out, or is that just me?
I think it's just you.
It's like it's lagging. It's weird. Anyway. So, what is plan?
Yeah, the only 2 things I wanted to ask him was basically that when he came into his power, and I'm just going to casually mention that I heard a story of a young girl who liked sweet cakes once from Arya.
God damn, I can fucking hear those jets through my headphones in my office.
If you're a jet.
Then you're a jet all the way.
I can always tell that it's ours when they fly over. They're the only ones that make noise.
Who else's jets would be flying over?
Well, just like normal airplanes.
Aliens.
Oh. I was like, I didn't know there was other jets running around.
No, the F-16s. They're loud as fuck. So, we done with lore?
Damn.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? No?
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Not currently.
Not currently. Have you gone through all of your 10 tabs?
I think so.
What's the what's the bridge burners captain's name again? What are they called?
Parent?
No.
In our book.
Yeah, the captain we were talking with who set the meeting up.
That captain.
I'm gonna write it down. What's it called? Haley keeps throwing
Arian Daleth. No.
He's in the notes.
Palandar Rivara.
Yeah.
Rivara.
And he's a part of what group?
The 5th.
They're the bloody. The what? The 5th?
The
The
5th
fifth.
Regiment from Ari.
Oh, he must be like whiskey. They go after things that he likes. What do you like?
My name's Whiskey.
Whiskey, tequila, and pussy. Oh, that's good shit.
One of those was bad parents.
So currently we are still in the room with Unity.
Yes, he had just handed you the piece of paper that said that he could. Let me see. So basically, it's a note authorizing the transfer of 20,000 gold pieces from Cornelia and Philodendron to Arabella Skycutters, and it was signed by Era. And
Sir?
it's at this point that you notice that Kylan is nowhere to be found. You think possibly the last time that you saw her was entering into the castle.
Oh, I didn't think we were dumb enough to bring her with us.
She kind of does what she wants.
Yeah, we don't get to.
This is why people beat their children. They seem to learn better.
He's not wrong.
If y'all would just let me give her that old-fashioned discipline, we wouldn't have this problem.
Austin, she's like 15.
Never stopped me before.
I mean, and back in this timeline, that's a prime age right there.
I mean, we're dead by 35, so what's the difference?
I'm not.
Dude, if I'm not dead by 27, I'm doing something wrong.
I'm 34. I'm an old bastard.
I've lived. I've died.
I've seen some shit.
So quickly to recap what happened, because we're still technically in the room with him. And so the previous conversation that we had with him was we were trying to make the sale. He agreed to the sale, and that's why he was giving us the note. And we had come to essentially an agreement where we were going to have to go back to Mesoponata and then come back, because I think there was something on kind of our next steps that I felt like they were explicitly discussed with him in regards to him getting his ships and giving that note back, correct?
Yes, but I think there is like a several-day gap in between us having to go back, which gives us the opportunity to then go to like find a
Do
staff.
exploring, yeah.
Yeah, do the explorations of things.
So we were going to have time to do...
He does want his ships before he lets you go after the staff.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Let's just go after the stuff.
Yeah.
That's cute, Unity.
Alec, you did mention something about Ardell, the Cornelian Philodendron law clerk.
Yes.
Last time, I believe.
Yeah, I was genuinely wondering because he was involved in Cornelia and the ever so confident man told us that he had friends in higher places than Arabella. Made me think that maybe he has been with Unity for a while. And that he has either been selling, secrets to Unity, or at least has been in contact with him for some time. that he is essentially something that Unity kind of holds dear. Not holds dear, but like is basically like funded through Unity. And that's, when he told us that he had much more money than than he had, and that he didn't really need anything from Arabella, that it just kind of ate at me a little bit until I realized that Unity keeps all of his money in Cornelia and Philodendron. And the fact that he just has like 20 grand sitting around to like drop on some ships for like absolutely zero reason is like kind of just making me think that, like, maybe he's more than just some random guy who got picked up off the street or picked himself up off the street.
It's interesting. That is really interesting.
Perhaps he has a benefactor?
Well, powerful people
I
can
mean, you would.
have a lot of things.
I mean, that is really interesting. That's a really good pickup.
Someone doing some backdoor deals, playing some things in the shadows.
I mean, he just sells information to everyone, but he works in like the financial district, basically.
That is really interesting.
Remember correctly, that's what they were.
If history's taught me anything, information is probably the most important and valuable thing we have, so he's probably a rather key player.
Knows how to
Yeah,
make
but
money.
like it does lend to the idea that there might be someone supplying wealth. That is interesting for sure.
So is the true powerhouse actually even Unity, or is it whoever's backing Unity? And why?
I mean, that's really interesting.
I like it.
Why he's been on my shit list since the day we met him.
Anything else?
Anything else?
The other issue that I have is the Amethyst Order, because I haven't exactly figured out what their end goals are. Other than the fact that they like work within a district who's like actively making it harder for everyone else to be a war-faring district.
That's a good point.
Um,
They're softening us up.
Softening us up, but also hoarding magic users.
Which would in turn soften us up.
Yes. Yes. So I thought that that would be something that would be interesting, and also something that should there be another god to rival another god, it would be useful to maybe have others in play. I think there was one other thing that I can't exactly remember right now, but I'm sure it will come to me in the middle of what we're going to talk about tonight, so I will just wait. If we are with Unity, I would like to just ask.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Would
Okay.
like to know what his plan is for the assassins.
So you are with Unity, and at this point, he is leading you out of the servants' quarters and into the garden area towards the main castle. In the distance, the sun is above the horizon at this point, and the kid that he had have a lesson with the sword master is still receiving his lesson. And he's got like several red lumps all over him. And he does not look like he's having fun. So Unity says to you, so, when do you think you will be prepared to go back to Mesnapada?
Well, I think we had a few minor things that we needed to round out here in Kishar. We had a few conversations with some gentlemen down at the docks that gave us some interesting queries to ponder, but the trip we should be able to be ready very soon.
That is good to hear.
Now, I know that we had spoken about the assassins that had possibly been making a play for your life, but you hadn't told us of how you were going to deal with them.
Well, to tell you the truth, I hadn't quite decided yet. But I'm erring on the side of letting it play out.
Understood. Do you have any when you say letting it play out, what exactly does that entail?
Well, currently, they're watching me, so I could put someone to watch them, and maybe gather more information that way.
Understood. Do you, well, I suppose, information would be good. What if we were just to bring them to you?
Well, I did learn some things on the streets. And when you see a rat, you don't want to kill it right away. You want to follow it back to its home and then kill its whole family. So that is why I'm erring on the side of waiting and watching.
Yes, sir.
It is, I guess your final decision is.
Unity, sir, do you already have any allies in the south?
Not currently, no.
Are you familiar with the way that our government works?
Oh, very familiar, yes. Mesnapada is the greatest city on this continent.
Damn right, don't you forget it.
Just about everyone is familiar with the way that it works. It's shameful.
That's what I thought as well. All their prosperity and working together is disgusting, isn't it?
Constantly preying on the weak.
Yeah. Yes. So you haven't made any contact with them yet?
Not in quite some time. I've been there once or twice. However, that is the limit of my experience with Mesnapada.
Did you learn anything from them?
I do not understand how they have built such a great city with such greed. And how so many different organizations work together when they are constantly at each other's throats.
Maybe that is the beauty of it. No one can gain control because everybody's constantly pulling apart from each other. We've had such tremendous peace.
I had a friend once, and he had a lot of siblings, and they always seemed to, be fighting each other. It seemed like they were always at war with each other, but due to their blood ties, they always ended up working together somehow, and in the end, they were still family, and I don't know, maybe it's something like that. Maybe they only pick on each other a little bit, but secretly they have more connections with each other than they may put out.
Interesting belief, brother.
It is possible.
Yeah, it was just a friend, and it
Though I
was a
do
long
not
time ago.
though I do not believe that you all have not witnessed the terrible things that the different corporations have done to each other just to try to get the upper hand.
And yet no one's gotten the upper hand. Isn't that strange? Do you think that was put in place by design?
Are there laws to prohibit companies getting the upper hand?
I don't know.
Well,
Hard
I
to
think
say
it's
from my
open-minded,
point of view.
That's an interesting question for sure.
it would appear that the constant being at each other's throats does seem to hinder the ability to take control for just one of the organizations.
Not to mention, I doubt one could probably survive without the others. They're all pretty self-dependent, also while trying to get each other's belongings.
And I think that if any of them stopped pushing so hard, that it might send the world into anarchy. It might give one the upper hand, and they might take all the control. So I think that they fight, maybe to stand up. It's like whenever. Have you ever built a house out of cards?
I have not.
Have you ever built a teepee?
Yes.
You built a fire at least, right?
Yes, a fire. Yes.
Yeah. You know how the wood's able to stand up? It's because they're constantly pushing against each other. And if one gives way, then the whole thing crumbles and falls. I don't know. I think it might be, it might be worth looking at.
Yes, but what happens when one person sets the spark?
Then you got your goal, which was a fire in the first place.
And they all come tumbling down.
So you're trying to burn our nation down?
Or they all working together to get you a fire going.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know. I think you and me, we might have a different way of looking at things, Unity.
I was told they're kind of like
I believe we do. I've seen much turmoil in life, and it weighs on me.
I get that. So the best thing to do is... Oh, never mind. Sorry. Forgive me, Unity. I lost my composure for a second.
I know that our friend here had some questions for you while we were celebrating our recent business agreement, but would appear he has been called away on other business. The other things that we had for you, I do believe that we were wondering how long you've felt this drive and this power behind you.
It has been several years now. Let me go back and look. I had it in my story, I believe.
Would you mind teaching me how to do it?
What, awake the demon inside you?
Yeah, I feel like it could be. Super useful.
Perhaps
Well,
we all
I
got
guess,
a demon inside us.
How old would you say you are?
So that happened when he was 26, and then he
Now
spent
41.
the next 10 summers of his life growing in power and setting plans in motion.
Uh-huh.
And then he eventually made his way to the 100 Kingdoms to unify them.
So roughly like 5 years later.
Roughly. So, 41, I guess.
It's all coming together.
You seem like a man of deals. You want to make a deal with me?
I would love to hear what you have to offer.
Financial security in the future.
Famous last words.
And all I ask in return is just some leadership points. Or some leadership, what's it called? Direction from you. I just want to kind of learn to get in your head a little bit.
I see.
Because it seems like you've had a lot of success, and like, I also know something is coming, and I would like to be able to warn you about it.
I see. I can appreciate that. Yes, I'm very interested in what you have to say.
Okay, here you go. If you have any diamonds, I'd trade them for gold now. I have a feeling they're not going to be worth much here in the near future.
I see.
But that's just, that's an insider information trading tip, so I could be hung for that. My question for you.
I do not believe you're within the influence of Messinabada currently.
Yeah, that's a good point. But that's a good point. That's a good point. So I don't know, that might be helpful. Do you deem that as helpful?
I would say that is helpful, yes.
Okay, then my question for you is, well, why do you lock away the fifth on the docks? Do you have any plans for them? Or are you afraid of them?
Well, their commander seems to have a decent hold on them. I know that, especially that Captain Ravara. He tends to keep his men busy, which is very good of him. That's shows signs of great leadership.
Yeah, but isn't that per
And
your
yes,
direction?
yes, I do have plans for them.
So there's no reason why you've kept them locked away so far away?
I wouldn't say they're far away. I mean, at least they're not,
They're far from battle.
Well, yes, but there are times in between battles. They're used to things like this.
Alright. I was just kind of curious. I told Ravar I'd ask for him.
The life of soldiering often involves lots of sitting around and waiting for the next
Oh, yeah.
battle. Waiting and preparing.
We called them paper pushers.
It wasn't like that back in my day.
I like that.
Yes,
Nothing but
jockeys.
bloodshed.
Yes, Sylvester. You do seem
These
quite
soldiers-
the soldiering type. Do you have anything interesting to tell me?
Interesting. I got a lot of interesting shit. Well, for one, your soldiers nowadays bunch of pussies, as the little one would say, bunch of paper pushers.
I see.
I think that's by design.
If I had it my way, you'd have them on the front lines pushing day in, day out. And if they die, well, that man's just a pussy.
That's a
Well,
good point.
That's
Back
I
how
don't
when
think there is a front line right now.
Well, that's a good
Am
point. Like, one time, whenever I was young, I died, and my mom told me to walk it off. So. But that's just when I was a kid.
So would you willingly send your men into battle when you don't have all the information and risk their lives needlessly?
Yeah, it kind of depends on who they are, but
I was about to say.
no.
Can't say that that any good leader would do that.
I never said I had the best of leaders. just really stern ones.
I'll say, but I also wouldn't work my prize hunts into a frenzy and keep them in a kennel, unless I was afraid that they were going to bite someone.
Oh, they are very competent at securing things that come into this city that shouldn't be here.
Like what?
It's a valuable asset to have.
Oh, you know,
Seems like
people, items, things of that nature.
Things of a certain type of nature, things of a certain type of nature that you might be looking out for specifically.
Well, I'm always interested in artifacts. I find them very interesting. It is one of my hobbies to study them.
That's why you were wanting that staff there, huh?
There's a
Isn't it?
certain amount of history involved in artifacts.
I think there's a lot of history. Yeah, that's fair. Unless anyone else has any questions, I guess there's some stuff that old Herschel was wanting to take care of before we come back and have to go back to Mesopontamia. Is there anything else we needed to discuss with the kind gentleman here who's allowed us his time?
I did have one thing. That small girl who came and gave you a sweet roll. She reminded me of a story I once heard. Of Arwia. Are you familiar with the country?
Yes, I have been there recently.
Yes, I remember the leader. I can't remember his name. Was it the Demon of Gameti?
The Demon of Gameti. Yes.
He had a young daughter who had a affinity for sweet rolls. Is that correct?
She did indeed.
Did you have a chance to meet him while you were there?
Yes, I did meet him very briefly.
on the end of his sword, remember?
Ah, yes, I do believe.
He was a good man.
Then, what did you have to kill him for?
Well, to some people, honor is the highest thing that they have, and it is their greatest pride to live and die as an honorable man. And that was his decision. So I let him make it.
So with him no longer in power, what happened to his family?
Well, some of them are here. Others stayed behind to see over the town.
Who would you bring back with you?
Well, his wife did not want to remain in the city, understandably. And brought back too many memories. And she brought her daughter with her.
They're
To
This-
Kishar?
Yes.
So there are too many bad memories in the place, but they went to the city where their captor lives. Just
I'm-
make sure I got my facts straight here.
I'm not their captor.
No, she's the one that killed her dad and husband.
Oh, right. My mistake. Minor detail. She might sound like she might have a screw loose, understandably, but who am I to judge?
so.
Some people need a new life. Need to start anew.
I was under the impression that his daughter died. Is that not correct?
She is alive and well.
Did she not fall from the window?
In fact, I believe you saw her this morning. She brought me a sweet roll. She's wearing the yellow dress.
Wait, can I meet her?
Well, she's around here somewhere. She loves to go exploring.
I would love to hear stories of her father. He's like my favorite.
What was your name?
I do not want to tell you that.
You,
I do not.
as Unity, or because you lost your accent there, bud?
As DM.
Can't tell us or won't tell us.
Did you forget her name?
Is there a reason why Unity wouldn't tell me?
1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
I think we could just ask her. I usually know my name when people ask. Sometimes my friend, he struggles with that. He makes up names all the time.
Come
Sometimes
on,
he's
pal.
Julio.
And
Just a name.
Sebastian.
Damn it.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Zorro is a new one.
Yes.
I bet you this king is from the 3rd dynasty of Kish.
Everyone just calls her young lady.
Well, every girl I've ever met that I didn't care to know too, or didn't mean to know too well, I called her young lady too. Could we narrow it down a little bit?
That is what she says to call her.
She seems like she might have an interesting tale or two to listen to. Having a conversation or two would be mighty nice.
Unity.
Yes?
Before we leave, I do have one follow-up question. I would like to know what your thoughts on the gifted are.
And premarital sex.
What do you mean by the gifted?
The those that were blessed with enriched blood.
Ah. Those imbued with magic. Is that what
Yes.
you speak of?
I do apologize for my beating around the bush, but where we're from, it is more than frowned upon, if you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, I do understand that. Yes. I have no problem with them. They're blessed. As you know, I am one of them.
Yes. I am fully aware that
In fact, I welcome their presence.
I do thank you for that.
Especially to keep them away from those that would do them harm.
Yes. Well, that is, something we have in common.
Excellent.
Okay. Cool, thanks.
I do hope that something good can come out of this purchase that you were making, but just seems to be adding to a problem that won't go away.
Let me ask you this. Herschel,
Yes.
what are your views on the gods?
Well, to put it lightly, they have not been around for some time, and my where I come from, we had our own views and our own path that, should you choose to worship as others did, then that was your own right. But without the evidence, people seem to have lost their faith and lost their many, I would say, did lose their fear of them. Now, as a God-fearing man myself, I do understand that there are higher powers at work, and that without them, I mean, we would be surely ripping each other to pieces and really just not doing what we were intended to do here.
Higher powers at work. So would you say that the gods have a right to meddle in human affairs?
Now, a right might be the wrong word or the wrong way to put it. I do
Kind
think
of like a
that
duty, right?
I would say that it would be kind of them to intervene at such situations that those who do support them would be unjustly persecuted.
I see.
Much like a blacksmith bends metal to his will. You'd understand that, and you could sympathize with that, wouldn't you, Herschel?
I do think it might be a slightly different analogy, but
Oh, like sometimes we have to go through the fire to be hardened.
yes, there are times for quenching, times for beating, but also times for being used for what you're made to do. Times for being displayed as a proud creation and not something that was meant for war or for destruction. Something that you know something you can be real proud of.
I see. So you would disagree with men celebrating the god of war?
Now I guess that depends on why they're celebrating him.
Because, in my experience, the god of war might as well be called Mother, as that is the name most commonly called out when men are dying.
As a man who's been on the battlefield, I don't remember too many of them screaming out for their mothers.
Oh,
Maybe their wives or children's, but not really their moms.
Oh, I think it precedes the word fucker
Ah,
in my experience.
our halfling over here, he's got a good point. That part is true,
Oh, motherfucker.
especially when you're about to die.
I just
Forced up your toe.
Which sometimes you rather.
well, Unity. What are your views on what worshiping the god of war are? And I mean, you seem to feel strongly about why call him the god of war at all? Why not call him Mother?
Guess it all depends on perspective.
Well, that's why I'm asking what your perspective is.
But it is my personal belief that the gods have no right to meddle in human affairs.
Sounds like you got some anger towards the gods.
What
You want to get rid of
what
them.
would the god's purpose be then?
That is the great question, then, isn't it?
So, am I right to assume that you think that they have no purpose at all?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that.
But you just don't know what that purpose is.
I would say that's correct.
Do you want to know?
Because, as a mortal mind, can we even fathom what the gods are thinking or what their purposes are?
I would hope that some of us might be able to at least comprehend it.
It's another one of the great questions.
Would hope that there are those of us who come to understand them and not necessarily speak for them, but allow them to speak through us.
I know a man
Like
like
a
that once.
priest of sorts.
Yes.
He was
Not
my
a
best friend.
not a priest who claims to be in contact, who uses it for personal gain or what have you, but someone who truly is
Oh, they're
allowing.
like a mediator.
Yes.
So
Or
let me ask you
medium,
this.
if you will.
What do the gods gain from interfering in mortal affairs?
Well, depending on how they interfere, they you would gain followers. They would gain the praise of something that is beneath them.
Pleasure in a job well done.
Or just mere entertainment, some might say.
The higher you go, the more you uncover of greater powers using the weak
Now,
for their own personal gain.
I mean, you can ride that philosophy all the way to the top, but let me ask you, how much better of a world would it be where everyone is equal on the same playing field and of the same capacities and capabilities?
I guess that's something that we may never know.
Well, I mean, it's certainly not something we would ever know because it's not meant to be.
Because men are modeled after the gods, as they say.
You'd much rather them be modeled after men.
Well, it's a little late for that now, isn't it?
Well, I think you're maybe missing the point a little bit, but the you know, my friend here does make a good point, but we can't help but think that maybe this anger could be derived from the powerful using the weak. But do you not feel like they've interfered in your life?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, what did you not ask to be interfered with? Did you not ask for help to get off the streets? Stick up for those who couldn't defend themselves?
I relied on myself for most of
And
my
that
life.
got you to where you are today?
Yes.
So the steroids you took about 15 years ago got you to where you are today, or what? Hard work ethic and days in the gym?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, then, I mean, if we're being honest here, I'm not quite sure how someone like you goes to being 26 years old on the streets to being in your early 40s and being on par with, what might call godlike powers.
I didn't
I
ask
mean,
for this.
you didn't ask to be questioned, or you didn't ask for the powers you've been given?
The powers.
Well, you have them. Whether or not you asked for it.
Maybe that's why you got it. Do you ever feel like it comes with a responsibility?
Responsibility to see that it's never done again? Somewhat.
That it's never done it. I mean, do you not feel like it's been a gift to you? That you've been given an opportunity to right some wrongs that have been done in the absence of the gods?
Somewhat. Though I feel it was a mistake on their part.
How could it possibly be a mistake? I mean, unless the god of war himself was the one that gave you these powers. And
are the gods perfect then?
I mean, I think everybody here knows that nobody's perfect, and I can't imagine gods are exceptions of that rule.
Well, we shall see.
You got plans to be killing some gods or something?
Possibly. We'll
Well,
see
I-
where
that's
this
a-
path takes me.
I
That's
do.
the ideal.
Unfortunately, I cannot see the future.
Yeah.
Sure, we can both agree that that would be a terrible burden to carry.
Indeed.
Now, the next question I have for you is why is the signature of Era on this piece of paper?
That is a name that I previously went by.
Yes, and how many other previous names do you have?
Well, a few. As a highwayman, you want to keep your identity concealed.
I wouldn't necessarily know as much about that, but I do understand it is a complicated life.
Yeah, no, I agree. Innocence hides in the dark.
I can't help but wonder why you chose that one to go as.
It seemed fitting. Wouldn't you agree?
You know, personally, I can't say that I have an answer to that question, as I don't know you very well.
Fair enough. Well, is there anything else you would like to do while you're here? I don't think it would take very long to get a ship prepared.
Oh,
Yeah,
Not that I can think of
Sylvester, I
personally.
think Sylvester
Mascota?
wanted to talk to Lil Miss.
I'm not sure we'll be able to find her, but if you run across her, I'm sure she would love to talk to you.
Then I guess we better get to looking.
Fake news.
It was a, I will say that it was a pleasure to meet you, a pleasure doing business with you.
Indeed
And,
it was.
We shall return with great haste to Mespanada to get this order in for you.
25 ships, no more, no less. That was the agreement, yes?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Excellent. Well, I hope to be seeing you again then.
Yep. Unity, I hope I can show you a better way.
Yes. Diamonds to gold, my friend. I will keep that in
Diamonds
mind.
to gold. That's right.
Any other secrets you have for me before you go?
Secrets don't come cheap, friend.
Haha,
Smiles real big.
I see.
I do have one question.
I knew
for
I
you.
could spell that Messinapada blood from a mile away.
That's right.
Have you ever heard of umbrellas?
Umbrellas. I
Yes.
don't believe I have.
Does it rain here frequently?
Somewhat, yes.
Well, when we get back, we'll have a discussion.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll have to go stop at Artemis Fowl with the patent attorney group.
He does a slight bow and gets up from the table and walks away, leaving you in the dining hall of the castle. Anything?
I think we better
Thoughts?
have this discussion outside. Maybe see if we can't find little lady before we leave.
Yes. Some skulking around the. Ooh, can we do some skulking? I would love to do some skulking.
Skulking's good.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody seen Kylan?
No,
No
I
one's seen
am.
that little wrench. She's become a giant pain in my ass.
Maybe she's already talking to a little lady.
Oh, she would. Did you give her one of those walkie-talkies?
if I remember correctly, I did not. Seeing how I thought we would have left her someplace safe and not brought her to the castle with us.
Oh yeah, like that's worked before.
Yes, well,
Maybe we should leave her here and just see if she finds her way back.
she just seems to know when we're leaving and when we're going. So,
Off the rails.
yes, maybe she's gathering intel as someone so nicely asked her to do last time.
She always listens real good and does exactly what we tell her to do.
Gotta talk in code. Okay, so you exit the
Speaking of-
castle. And
Where the fuck did Sylvester go? Where is he?
you start making your way back to the tavern. There is a pretty substantial crowd noise that no one could really hear you as you're walking back.
I would like to know if anyone is following us.
Perception. Yes, you do notice a hooded figure following you, probably about 50 yards back. And they're doing a pretty damn good job at it.
Does it look like a 15-year-old girl?
You cannot see the face.
Can I see the butt?
No.
Can I see everyone in our party?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
No. I don't think you can see fucking Sly.
Wherever Sly went, yeah.
Oh, well, that's why I was wondering if he was the one that was
He
behind
is
us.
not the hooded figure, no.
Okay.
I was gonna say. Did I end up getting to skulk around the castle, or am I? Where am I?
You were skulking, for sure.
Yay! Skulking.
He's
I
the
will be.
Skull King.
Make a perception check, Austin. Also, hopefully this one will be better than like a 3 last time.
God
He's the
damn.
king of skulls, guys. Literally a 3. Why'd you jinx it, Ryan?
Oh, good God.
I don't want the skulk anymore.
Ryan had his finger on the scale.
Wow.
I am
That's
sneaky,
amazing.
but dumb as shit.
He's horrible at recon.
We don't have.
Give this man some glasses.
victories anymore.
There.
Sly, what do you actually look for when you go off sneaky like?
He definitely lives in a castle. Definitely
He's
lives in a
sneaking
castle.
around, but just staring at flowers on the side of the road.
He's Professor Jacques Clouseau.
He's looking for knots in the wood.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
to buy
worth
them
worth.
burger.
I have in my pocket.
Oh god.
It'll be better.
Would like to buy them burger.
God, I need to watch that movie again.
How does he? What does he call that shampoo that he keeps trying to wash his hair with? Oh my god, that's so funny. He kills me every time. I love that movie. Sorry.
Argu- one of my all-time favorite movies. It's ridiculous.
It's spelled jojoba, but pronounced jojoba.
I have no idea what movie this is.
Pink Panther.
I would like to stop walking and kind of just like congregate around a. I'm assuming we're walking down like a street with
Yeah.
buildings and shops.
Yep.
Is there like a not like the tavern, but just like a place that sells food that has like outdoor tables.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Would like to let everyone know that I'm famished and would like some food.
Okay.
I guess I didn't see anything, and I'd like to sneak back out of the castle and work my way back to the group into town.
Okay, so you all decide to sit down at this outdoor eatery place. And you grab a seat for 7, but only 6 of you sit down. And you kind of start discussing the conversation with Unity. And suddenly, a figure appears in the 7th seat, and it is Sylvester.
Oh, there.
Who? Where did you come from?
I just did some little bit of some looking around the Unity's castle, and I tell you I didn't find much. I found this bottle of good whiskey, but that's literally it.
Already have that on you?
No. I drank that one. I found this new one though.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Replenish the stock.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll find something useful.
Whiskey's useful.
More useful for the group. This is pretty useful for me, but not so much the rest of us.
Well, it is if you share.
That's a good point. I think it dulls the pain.
That's what I've heard.
I got a lot of pain to dull, and you guys are too young in the tooth.
Brian, can you see this when I share it?
Yeah.
Create an instantaneous, harmless sensory effect.
Yeah, can I blow some wind at the hooded figure?
You create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image.
Absolutely can.
Yeah, I would just like to.
It does have a 10-foot range. Could
This
be
is
a
true. Okay.
hindrance.
Instantly clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot.
You could soil an object.
Soil your pants.
Like
Dang, I didn't even need to cast a spell for that. Could have just shat him right here.
A few more drinks of this, I'll be right there.
You smell that?
Right, I'm kind of gonna keep an eye out on the hooded figure and continuously try and keep a gauge on where he's at and what he's doing while we're talking.
Okay. Still about 50 yards away. Just kind of
In the restaurant?
Or outside.
at a different shop.
Oh.
Discussing with one of the shopkeepers. That's like selling fruits and vegetables and spices and things like that. And just it's occasionally glancing over at you guys.
Did we
Okay.
did
New
we
idea.
see that he followed us from the castle, or when did we notice that he was behind us?
Right after you left the castle.
I would like to have a new idea.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to bend over to Jonathan and ask him to stand behind my shell, so that his vision is blocked from the hooded figure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I would like to reach into my backpack and pull out my disguise kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to tell him to go trade some secrets.
What do you want me to tell him?
I want you to find out why he's following us.
Well, what do I have to trade?
I give him over the half bottle of whiskey I have left.
Who
Here,
am
little
I?
fella. Try this.
I will. Who are you?
Yeah.
Well,
I have to get into character.
yes. We, well, what shop is he at right now? Can we tell?
Just like a spice shop. Yeah, I mean you can.
Perfect.
You can see him.
I'm gonna grab the salt shaker off the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna empty it into Jonathan's hands. and tell him that he needs to find more of this exact salt.
With the guy?
Yeah, with the guy at the spice shop. Just work your way in a conversation and figure out where you can find more of this exact salt.
Oh, am I like snooty?
The snootiest.
The snootiest.
Yes, it's the only salt that you'll have for dinner.
Ah, yes. Is this that pink Himalayan salt?
It's actually blue, but yes.
Wonderful.
The Gameti blue. That's what they called it, I believe. And it is now blue.
It is now blue. Got it. Is there anything else you want me to know from the guy, or just get more salt?
Oh, I wanna know why this feller thinks it's okay to follow us, and why he has decided to follow us.
Okay. That seems like a lot with the salt. I'll do what I can do.
Yes, I do believe this is within your realm of capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds great.
And the rest of us can discuss our conversation with Unity while he does this.
Okay. Shall we go to a different room, Jake?
Sure.
Okay. Oh man, Alex, good.
Oh yeah.
He's so good.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. It's excellent.
He's sharp. It's hard to be engaged and know things
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So
understand.
I do my best.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I also have no idea what his idea was about me with the salt, but I can try.
Yeah. I think he just wants you to go up to the spice person and like make the person uncomfortable, I guess.
Yes. Well, I guess, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
My God, sir!
Oh,
Have you ever tasted this?
what is it you have there?
It's this! It's wonderful! I have quite the palate, and great palate it may be, if I do say so myself. I've been around and something of a savagnon for salt. But I need more.
Oh, yes, I see. I do have quite the selection of salt.
Do you have any of this salt? Wait, I'm sorry, am I interrupting something? You, sir. Yeah, you. With the eyes, shifty eyes, you.
Me?
Yeah, okay, what do they look like?
It is definitely Kylan.
It's definitely Kylan. Okay. Yes, you. What are you doing? Did you have prior business with this salt man?
Yes, he was just telling me that someone else was coming to deliver something to him.
So I'm interrupting.
Possibly.
Oh, by all means, go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, so as I was saying, you need to be on the watch out for this delivery man. He's coming to give you something, and you may not like it. It's terrible quality. So yes, he is one of my. Yes, I am a spice person, and I would much rather you buy from me than buy from him. So you should avoid him at all cost when he arrives.
Wonderful eye for these things. Maybe you could help me with this salty endeavor.
Possibly. My shop is just around the corner. If you go to the next main road, hang a right and travel 3 blocks.
Maybe I could accompany you there. A woman such as yourself should never be walking alone.
Well, I think I need to finish my conversation here first, but I can meet you there in
Oh, don't worry, I'm very patient.
just a few minutes.
Oh yes, yes. I could give you maybe 15
You see, this
SF
this
for 15, maybe.
delivery person is very shy. I do not think he will approach if this spicemonger here has more than one customer here.
Isn't that what you wanted, miss?
Well, yes, but as I was telling the shopkeeper, he needs to avoid that person at all cost,
Oh
as he could be coming any minute now.
Well, maybe what would you suggest me to do then, young lady? Because I could not see it in my my very noblest opinion to leave you alone.
Right, you definitely wouldn't want to purchase salt from him. Like I said, I could definitely match the quality of the salt you have there if you were to just meet me at my shop down the way in a few minutes.
In a few minutes, where exactly would you say that would be?
Yeah,
Would you
just...
mind if I brought some friends?
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
Would it even be maybe wanted?
Yes, actually. You could actually, if you go there quickly, there is a shortcut. You take the alleyway. It would be much faster and out of the way of everyone else.
Yes. Well, I'll be on my way, but I think my friends might keep an eye on you if you don't mind, miss.
I did say that I would like friends to be there as well.
For honor's sake.
Well, if you say so. But I must remain here.
Okay. Okay.
But so she starts like talking at the spicemonger, but she's looking directly at you.
Right.
She's like, you need to avoid the delivery person that's coming.
I see. Thank you, miss. I will be on my way. I will see you there in momentarily. Spicemonger, I'm sorry you've lost the sale, and I'm going to throw the salt at him.
What a interesting person that was. You kind of hear as you walk away.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go back.
Yeah.
If only you were the one who got powers instead of Unity.
Hey, my cutie beauties.
There's
Jonathan's back.
many.
My good sirs, I think it is time that we leave abruptly.
Okay, well.
Come with me.
This can't be good.
Retinue in my wake.
Where's Player's Handbook?
Good God, man. Put that whiskey away. Not out in public.
There it is.
Yes, you. To my side. Let's just go.
What's going on here?
Yes, master.
I'll play along for now.
See this tiny little halfling leading this column of giants behind him. He leads you down the main roadway and suddenly ducks into a side alleyway.
Guys.
I will duck as quickly as a turtle does.
Guys, get out of sight.
Jonathan, the hell is this all about?
That's Kylan. She warned us. There's someone coming.
I'm gonna hide.
Where's Kylan? Who's coming? What happened?
Kylan, hooded figure. Warning.
It was
Man.
Kylan. Damn it.
The man that delivers bad. I don't know. That's as much as she would give me in front of the spicemonger.
Man that what?
Delivers bad.
Oh, a man that delivers bad?
Yes. Delivery man is bad. Bad delivery man.
Are we near like an alleyway or anything?
You're inside the alleyway, yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna hide and ready in action.
Okay.
Where the why does it?
Did we mean like literally coming like right now or like?
Yes.
So they're coming to this alleyway. They're following us because she was the one
No.
following us. Yes.
She said I don't know. She alluded to the fact that like he was coming, and she was warning the guy, but I think she's warning me that he was coming there, and that she would meet up with us momentarily.
Did she
So
say where?
should we be waiting for her?
I do believe that we should be waiting for her,
Okay.
but very vigilantly.
Did she tell us to hide?
You know, I would say yes, but in not as many words.
Hmm.
But she told me where to go, so she know where to find us.
Okay. I'm gonna try and position myself in a shadow in the alley,
fuck
but where I
your
can still see
goddamn
out.
Stealth. Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth then for those that are wanting to watch.
I would also like to gather up any loose rocks.
Okay.
Am I able to find any?
We have no weapons
Oh
right
yeah.
now, correct?
Yeah, no weapons. Parker does have his fists and
I was gonna say I would like to also step forward.
Don't you have your,
yeah,
don't you have your
Herschel
thunder gauntlet?
also has his fucking go-go gadget arms.
Did I find any stones?
Yes, you did.
There you go.
Okay.
You also still have your lucky stone that Captain Rivara gave you.
I can't get rid of that. It's been blessed by Captain Rivara. This one's going on the shelf when I get home.
I'm gonna put that in your inventory, actually. Let's see.
So we're in a back alley right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would get like a piece of stick or something.
Hey, where'd you find those rocks?
Over here.
Oh, I look for rocks too, or something.
Did he find any good rocks?
Yes, he did. Also a handful. Very jagged and would be great for hitting people in the head with.
Good. It's good. It's good. It's just the kind of rocks I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean,
They're my
I'm just
favorite
gonna.
rocks.
I'm gonna position myself in the alleyway. You know where like the light cross sections in, where the shadow starts.
Mhm.
I'm gonna find. Is there any like objects back there?
There's like some trash and stuff like that kind of heaped up at the mouth
Okay.
of the alleyway.
Question: Does this alleyway have 2 entry points or 1?
It's got several, but on the main road that you're on, it's just that one. But if you go farther down, there's several paths that lead in different directions.
Like different alleys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sly.
I'm gonna position at the main entrance,
I will
just behind where the shadow is.
take
and
the other entrance into this smaller part of the alleyway that we're in.
Can you keep
I
an
guess
eye?
not.
I'm gonna cover myself with trash and ready in action that if I see anybody come in the alleyway that is not the hooded figure that was following us, Kylan, I'm gonna take a kick at their leading leg at the ankle.
Gotcha. So you're kind of watching the people pass on the main roadway. And a little bit of time passes, probably 3 or 4 minutes. And you're just kind of sitting and waiting. And you just kind of hear the hustle and bustle as all the different citizens walk by. And then suddenly you see the Augustus and Artemis captain walk past. And he is trailed by several figures in just normal plain clothes, matching most of the just normal villagers. And something catches your eye on one of their collars, and it's a purple gem in the shape of
Hextech.
an amethyst.
Those motherfuckers.
They pass by without incident. You wait a couple more minutes, and Kylan appears at the mouth of the alley.
The captain, does it look like he is walking with them, or
yeah.
he is
Oh yeah,
under duress?
walking with
Does he
them.
have?
He was like
Does he have the
leading.
amethyst as well?
He was leading them.
It's one of them amethyst orders.
And they were just kind of talking with each other, kind of under their breath.
Are we familiar enough with the city to know where they might be going?
Not really, no.
Can I tail them?
If you want to. So Kylan comes into the mouth of the alleyway. She says, "Go, go!"
Go after them.
No, and she starts
No.
going farther down into the alley. Follow me.
I'm following.
I'll follow.
Also,
They walked right past,
Herschel.
right? They didn't.
Yep.
They didn't stop and look or anything.
Yes.
They walk past.
You want to tail the boys with purple?
I want to do more than tail, but I can't. Can't
I have my
imagine.
walkie-talkie.
Should we tail them? I can.
Yeah, I think he has one too, right?
Come on, don't be stupid.
That's my fucking left name. Let's go.
That's what I say. That's about.
Shit.
You're brave.
Seeing
with all
how
the
is
rolls
I
that you've been
can-
getting.
Seeing how as I can see you, you're not going anywhere.
Okay.
Kylan comes over to you, Jonathan, and grabs you by the arm and starts leading you into the alley.
Yeah,
She says, "Thank you. You did good."
thanks. I was trying to do well, but good is always a better outcome, anyways.
So she leads you farther down into the alley. And she says, "After you guys went into the castle, I kind of just went around walking through the city just to see what I could see. And I happened upon that captain that you guys pointed out last night. And so I just kind of followed him around for a little bit. And he made his way to the docks where we landed the other day. And the same ship that we came in on brought those other individuals that was with him.
Those
Wait.
boys on the ship never did seem very straightforward.
trustworthy.
Yeah, that one.
Wasn't that ship owned by Arabella?
Mm-hmm.
And didn't they work for Arabella?
So what we were led to believe, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
The ship does, but the Arbella makes
But it's a
contracts
big
with all sorts
company.
of
I
people.
don't think they'll be able to keep track of just everyone. I'm sure someone's got a side business or side hustle.
Arabella. They don't work for Arabella. Not if they're part of the Amethyst Order. Glint told me he would look into them. He said he didn't say that we were them.
But the ship crew, didn't they work for Arabella?
Ship crew, correct? Yes.
Why would they
We
be
thought
working
so.
with that captain?
I mean, because he paid them.
Yeah, he.
Wait, the captain of the
They did
of the
say that
fifth?
they made a lot of trips out here. No, not the captain, the fifth, the Augustus and Artemis captain. The asses.
Yeah.
Airships are the fastest mode of transportation, and we will contract with anyone.
I mean, if you pay the right amount.
A paying fare is a paying fare.
Glint is a C word for not telling.
I don't think we are in the pay grade to know these things.
He told us he would tell us if he ever knew anything about him.
Well, he doesn't.
Lying sack of shit.
He doesn't tell us a lot of things.
He promised. Herschel, is our daddy lying to us?
Daddies lie all the time, friend.
Especially
Colin, what
as you
else
say to
did
Daddy.
what else did you find out about this group of gentlemen?
Well, after I saw him get off the ship that we came in on, I came back to the castle. And I saw you guys come out. And I saw them at the same time coming down the roadway. But I didn't know if they had noticed me, so I didn't want to look like I was doing anything suspicious.
That's smart.
That's why you stopped to buy spices.
Yes.
Was
Well, what's our move now?
Herschel,
Yes.
don't they want people like her?
Yes. And
Well,
I can't really seem to think what they might do with someone like Unity as well.
Unless they work with him.
tell me, Kylan, how were you able to gather all this information without being noticed?
Oh, you know. She just kind of winks.
Did you enjoy gathering the information?
Oh, yeah. It was fun.
Would you want to do more of it?
I don't see why not.
Well, we are somewhat known here, and you're somewhat anonymous, and it may be beneficial for us to have you go gather some of this information for us.
I think I could probably do that.
I think it might be possible that we could send Jonathan out to do the same thing.
Correct.
Maybe they can find a way to do it together.
Even better.
Pretty good point, Kylan. You and me, we do make a pretty good team from time to time.
We do.
Even
So,
Are we still in an alley?
yeah.
I'm gonna peek out and see if I can't see anyone around us, and I'm gonna trip and not make it to the edge of the alley.
uh, so, does that mean we go back home on that ship?
I thought
Well,
he was preparing us a ship.
that's what I understood as well. In fact, maybe we should go see him and see if that ship is ready.
Do you think maybe, Jonathan? Do you think you'd be able to find out where they're staying?
I mean, didn't you say you wanted to go to Mockdoom on the way back?
Yes, well, Kylan, the trip to Mockdoon might have to be one of ulterior motives in order to to get passage there.
Oh, I see.
The ship we're taking back isn't necessarily going to be one that's going to want to drop us off there.
Well, I was just thinking, since the ship that brought us here is here, couldn't they just take us to Mockdoom?
Oh, if I had to guess, that's probably where they came from.
That does explain how they left and got back here so fast.
A shorter trip.
That's a good point.
Would imagine that we would be able to find a way to get back to Mockdoon through them.
Is it worth the risk?
Well, what risk would we be taking?
Well, they were working with that captain that you guys don't like.
Yes, well, they were also the ferrying the Amethyst Order. So
Who's
that's
that?
that is something we will have to discuss in a more secluded area.
Oh, okay.
Something that should you ever see that, you make sure one of us knows
Gotcha.
in whatever way that you can.
Gotcha.
What's our next step? Where do we need to get to?
I guess we gotta go to Mockton, right?
I believe we need to go to Mockdoom.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
Well,
want
I
to?
meant like in the city. Like, do we need to? We need to make it back to the dock to our ship. Do we need to?
Oh no, we might. Just a thing. I don't know. I feel like we have some pretty good rapport with Ravar. Maybe he would be able to help us secure passage. Like I don't know, maybe spare some horses, or maybe he knows another way out of the city.
Didn't
Instead
Unity
of-
already give us free passage? Or is that just to Massa, where we're from?
Glint did, but Glint also told us he didn't know if he'd be able to give us the way home.
Well,
Well,
Unity
no,
offered a ship
Unity
home,
Yeah,
offered
Unity did.
the
Oh
way
yeah,
home.
Unity kind of did. Yeah.
and Glint, I believe, said we might be able to be picked up in
Mock-
Dokar.
or Dogar, yes.
I don't know. I'm just not very. I'm a little wary with the purple people here.
That's understandable. Kylan, I have a proposal for you.
Mm-hmm.
We need some assistance making sure we get to see the right people in Mockdoom. And I understand that you're from a fairly prestigious family there. Is that correct?
I think so.
But you've enjoyed your adventures with us, correct?
Oh yeah.
And you are supposed to broaden your education. So I propose that when we visit Mockdoom, you provide us the introduction needed to make our pitch for ships to them. And in return, since we were able to rescue you and protect you, we will escort you back to Mespanada to continue your education, where you can then help us gather information.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You think you'd be up for that?
Yeah.
I think this would be splendid. Thank you.
Yeah.
In that case, we just need to hash out how to get back to Mockdoom. Do we take Unity's offer, or attempt to take the Arabella ship back, or just hoof it?
Well, I think the first step should be is you should go back and get your weapons.
That's what I've been thinking this whole time.
You've been paying attention, haven't you, Kylan? Look
Do you
at you
think they'll-
learning.
Then let's go get our weapons.
I'll say it seems inevitable that we have a meeting with Rivara.
All right, so you're gonna head back to the barracks house.
Yup.
Okay. All right, so you guys head back to the barracks house. And outside the barracks, you see the 5th Regiment all lined up, and Ravara slowly making his way through all of the men, inspecting their uniforms. As you get closer, you see him like picking little hairs off of their uniforms and yelling about fish scales on their boots. He notices you coming up and just kind of gives you a nod and nods his head towards the house.
Well, I'm gonna start heading towards the house.
Seems like that's where he wants us to go.
So you guys head inside the house, and similar setup to what you had seen previously. He's got his desk set up, and his box of combs is sitting on the desk. The barracks itself is immaculate, and your weapons are sitting in an open crate by one of the walls. what would you like to do?
Hey, Sly, you or Doc should take the lead on this one. I'm not real big on soldier decorum.
What's his name again?
Rivara?
Well, he's not in here yet, and
Oh,
I think.
But it is Rivara.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
all right.
I mean, I
Well,
think we.
I'm gonna start grabbing my weapons and start strapping them up and just putting it back on.
Okay.
That's an
Anybody else?
option.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until Rivara gets in here.
Hugo, how do you think we should get home?
Hugo.
He might not be here.
Did we leave him in the alley?
Hugo. Hello. Oh, I think he's having mic issues.
Maybe he's just
You
muted.
know.
Oh, gotcha now.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There he is.
Man, the myth, the
So
legend.
I'm understanding we don't have easy access to the ship. Is that what I'm hearing?
One-way trip.
So it's a one-way trip to not Mockdown. Or it's a one-way trip to Mockdown.
Is that right, Eric?
I remember it was a one-way trip. I just don't remember where we. It's not back to Mesoponata. I know that.
No. Unity offered us a ship back to Mesponata.
Unity did.
Glint said the closest he could get a ship would be Dogal, that coastal city of Mokdoom. So we would have to make our way to there. That being said, he didn't say anything about a ship ferrying these Amethyst motherfuckers showing up in Kishar again.
Gross.
So they probably got to go back anyways.
So we want to ride with them?
So we can just try and smuggle ourselves onto there.
I mean, they're
I don't think we
Arabella.
can smuggle
It's
ourselves.
the
Yeah.
same ship that brought you in.
Yeah, I don't think we
Oh.
need to smuggle.
Oh, that's true. I
Are we
mean,
not afraid of the...
I definitely don't want to fucking walk. I'm like 4 feet tall. That's going to take forever.
That's a good point.
Well, if we put you and Jonathan on top of each other, you're like 8 feet tall, so that works out, right?
It doesn't.
I
Okay. You know what? Yes, that.
personally not like to be on the same ship as the Amethyst.
Yeah, I think the ship is the way to go.
Well, they have just arrived. You don't know
Yeah,
if they're
they're-
going to leave or not.
Yeah.
Can we use Jonathan? I know we were saying like Jonathan go find out where they're staying, but can we use Jonathan to figure out like if they're going to be staying here for an extended period of time?
It would seem that that's probably the case.
Okay. Well, fuck.
But here's another thing. I mean, I don't
If
know.
they go sideways, can't we just slit their throats and throw them overboard?
Well, do you guys remember the last time we saw them?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, last time we saw them, they shot me with a silver arrow.
I remember that. I was there for that.
It wasn't very fun. Dying.
Yeah. So
Oh.
Maybe
Well.
maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a little apprehensive because, you know.
I mean, I would prefer to
I mean,
not
other
be.
than that, I mean, do we just if we can't
In
take
fact,
that boat?
I'm slightly remembering that Glint's exact words were, "Don't dig too deep."
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Maybe it is because they are friendly. Well, shit.
Why did you just roll it?
Yeah.
Well, if we do take Unity's ship back to Mesoponata, we can take another Arabella ship wherever we need to.
But to do that, we would have to. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Alternatives, we try and convince Unity,
And-
because they're not like actually at war yet with Mock Doom. We Convince him
And
to
we'd
drop
get
us
the
off.
funds. And we'd get the funds from the first sale. I'd assume. Hence, it was more than what we were going to try and sell total.
I thought he told us not to come back until we've made all of our sales.
What I remember as well.
Well, didn't we
Well,
make all of them?
we made
Number
our
wise?
sales goal, but we haven't made all our sales. So
Yes, but that was he told us not to come back until we had done both of our pitches.
That is what I remembered, but maybe he changed his mind.
Well, maybe then we just need to go hop on our ship that we took here and see if they can't take us halfway home.
Question: Why don't we just go get on the ship that Unity's provided and see where it takes us?
I like
Which-
that idea.
It's a trap.
Gonna take us
One-
to Messapanata.
Yeah, that's where he said he would take us back to Mespanada to put in the order as fast
He
as
probably
possible.
doesn't want us to go and sell to the other side, really.
I gotta go. I'll be back in a couple weeks.
Is it critical?
Yes.
In a couple
Weeks critical.
Jesus.
See you in 5 minutes.
I gotta go. I'll be back in a year.
I'll be right back.
He's gonna be busy babysitting.
Oh,
So, alternatively, we can just see if we can tell him that we are expected to be picked up in Dogar because we didn't know how you would receive our party. So
Also-
we can just have his ship drop us off on the coastline next to Dogar.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, and then just make the trek from Dogar to Makdum, which is fairly short.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could convince Captain Rivara to stage a revolt and we could go roam the hill. Us in the 5th. Finders in 5th.
love that.
Maybe we just ask him to drop us off in Dogar. Although I'm sure he would be wondering why we would need reason to be dropped
Yeah,
off
that
there.
seems a
when he
little
can
bit
just-
suspicious.
when we
Being
can-
we're salesmen.
Because that's where we're expected to be picked up at.
Yeah, but I mean, he can just take us all the way back, so it's.
Our employers are very peculiar.
Well, where's
It would be weird for-
where's he expect us to drop us off at?
It would be weird for his ship to drop us off in hostile lands.
A little bit.
Well, we're
Also
not hostile.
improbable.
We're not hostile, but Mockman
Unity is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't have to go. He doesn't have to go all the way into just on the shoreline somewhere, like north. There'd be no.
Well, Mr. Logic, I think you can do the job of explaining that to him.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He says he's got it.
Okay.
Then I guess we go tell him we're ready for our ship.
Give me my ship.
Did Captain Rivara come in yet?
Yeah, so at this point, Captain Rivara
Jesus.
walks in the door.
It's
And
about time.
he looks at all of you, and he sees Sylvester, and that he has his weapons on. And he just kind of looks him up and down. And he says, Sylvester?
My friend. About time you joined us. We were just getting our stuff. We're getting ready to move on to our next destination. I just thought we'd stop by and say hi and grab our stuff. That's all right by y'all.
Yeah, I see you've made yourself at home.
Friends of the sword, my friend. Friends of the sword.
I see. He goes over and sits down at his desk. So, how did your meeting with Unity go?
Fantastic. Great business meeting. Good friends now.
Excellent. Is there anything I should be aware of?
I want
You
to learn how to pilot
particularly?
an airship.
I mean, not too much. We just need to get a transportation set up for us.
Oh, that is fair. I believe there's supposed to be a runner showing up any minute now. With that information.
Excellent.
Jonathan, do you still have your rock?
My God, of course I do. I would never get rid of it.
Excellent.
It's gonna belong in a special place on the shelf.
Well, you are free to get your weapons.
You still have your razor?
Oh, yes. He gingerly opens up his box and pulls it out and sets the razor directly in the center of the table. And he just kind of stares at it. And as he's staring at it, he says, "It is a beautiful thing. Holds an edge exceptionally well."
Have you used it yet?
Oh, no.
How do you know it holds its edge real good?
That would blemish the blade.
Not if it's as good as you think it is. A tool left out, unused, is not really a tool at all, is it?
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Well, that is why it goes in the box.
Are you guys in the box?
Now, yes. I would agree with that.
Oh, I hope you keep your edge too, friend.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Is what the leather strap is for, after all.
That's really good. Well, I hope we never have to cross blades, friend.
As you're talking, you hear a knock at the door. Come in, come in. A low-ranking individual enters the room, and Rivara looks pissed immediately.
Someone's about to get a good speaking to.
And he casually walks in. He says, "Captain, you will refer to me as my title." The kid snaps to attention, salutes, bringing his fist to his heart. You hear the pop of his knuckles on his breastplate. "Captain Rivara, sir, you may speak." "Sir, I have the information ready for the ship that is to take this party here back to Messinapada." "Excellent. You may leave it on my desk." The lower-ranking person reaches into his pouch, pulls out a small roll of paper, gingerly sets it on the desk, and goes back to attention. The captain looks him up and down. "Fix your uniform, son. You're dismissed." The kid does a nice step and spin and walks hastily out of the door. "Well, gentlemen, I believe this is for you." He stands up casually and hands one of you the note. "I believe that means you are free to go."
May we have our equipment back?
Yes, yes.
Can I? I would like to open the note.
It gives you details on a dock slip to go to, as well as a note for the captain saying that he is to deliver you to Messinapada, and he is to leave at the earliest convenience, and it is signed to Unity at the bottom.
Knowing what I know of my friends, which of you would have the better opportunity to ask our good friend Rivara here to write an addendum to this note?
Not me.
I can help you out with that.
Okay, what's it called? I do have a forgery kit if you guys want me to edit it.
I think it'd be
Oh, if you got a forgery kit, yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, why
The
don't
luck
we
of-
why don't we try that after? If
All right,
the good captain denies our request.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My good friend, if you could help us out with some paperwork real quick.
What might that be?
Well, if you could just add a little note for us. What are we adding?
To drop off in Dogar.
Yes,
North of Dogar on the
we
coast.
we have some business that came up urgently and in Dogar. Would it be possible to I don't know.
We don't have business there. That is where we have another ship waiting for us.
I see.
It is specifically to return us back to Arabella.
Right. And if you could very so kindly help us out and get the paperwork right for that. No. Fuck.
Oh my god, your rolls.
I mean, if there's anybody else that could have
If
stepped
there's-
up.
Anything that we could do to possibly get this to work.
Yeah, I mean, just
There it is.
anybody else.
There it is. Johnny got it.
I don't know, Captain. Captain, my sweet Captain. I also want to write my address down for him, just in case you ever reconsider, thoughts of wealth and or deal with the ships, of course.
Well, gentlemen, if it were up to me, I would have no problem sending you to Dogar, but I cannot usurp the chain of command. It is one thing to see to the needs of your friends, but it is a whole nother thing to abandon discipline that has been instilled in me for all this time.
No, we wouldn't want to ask that much of you. That is totally understandable.
I see it puts you in quite the predicament, but
Well, I'm sure that
unfortunately,
Arabella will understand that the extra trip was not wasted.
If you don't mind me asking, who can make that decision?
Well, seeing that is signed by Unity himself, I suppose it would be Unity that could make that decision.
Is he still available?
I cannot say.
Well, we wouldn't want to bother him. I mean, we could go ask him, but he's a busy man, I'm sure, as you know, and these are just mere trifle matters we couldn't bother him with, but I mean, we know him well enough now. I'm sure he'd be okay with it.
That's a good point. I would think that you would be in charge of the docks.
He did entrust us with some tasks and things he wanted done, and we wouldn't want to have this impede that progress at all now, would we?
I wouldn't suppose that, but I mean, you're welcome to try to find him. But the note does say to deliver you to the docks and get you out of here as soon as possible.
But it doesn't say exactly where to drop us off at. It just says to help us out of here, right? So it's not super specific.
Well, it does say that the ship is to deliver you to Messinapada.
But it doesn't mention anything along the way.
It doesn't say it can't stop.
Exactly.
I suppose that is true.
Surely there's some trade or some sort of work to be done along the way.
Listen, if you want to work that out with the captain of the ship, you are more than welcome to.
Hey, Copper Top?
That's the man. That's the answer I'm looking for.
Yes.
Copper Top? Does on the flight path, is this going to take us over Dogar anyway?
It depends on how if this map is curved at all. I don't know if this is a flat Earth or a round Earth, but yes, it is possible. It does appear to be on the way.
Well,
And I'm sure sailors could be enticed for a rowdy night in Dogar.
that's a good point. I think we're fine.
With some drinks provided for.
Or we can jump.
Oh,
I don't know how high these things are. I'm not comfortable with that.
young Jonathan,
Well,
my knees ain't what they supposed to be. I can't jump like I used to.
I would say it would
We can throw
not
it.
necessarily be the hardest thing to maybe throw a wrench in something and have us lose a few hundred feet of altitude.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Also, excellent plan.
Like
I
some,
would just say,
put some sugar in the tank.
I will say that the equator line runs through Kara.
I am in no way, shape, or form trying to figure out the curvature of this map.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just for your awareness.
But thank you.
Yeah.
I just think that, some of our potion boys might be able to give us some feather feats or something.
Well,
Some other what?
Whatever saves my knees.
To the
what?
ship.
Some a way to fall without hurting yourself.
No.
Okay, well, that's about all you're good for. So
You did do that to
That's
the
about all I'm good for.
you did do that to the troll one time, if I do remember correctly.
I can summon fireworks.
Maybe I am remembering incorrectly.
Those
Yeah,
dick
I
pills
did
you got
think
for us the
that
other day worked real good.
the troll was lifted off.
I did have a troll balloon for a while.
Yeah, I traded out some of my spells to do better shit now, okay? Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I think we'll manage. Let's go home.
Just being a little bit bitchy.
Here I
Well,
was
I-
thinking that
I'm
once you
missing
knew a
one.
recipe, you couldn't forget it. My apologies.
Reconsider my offer, Avara.
Unfortunately, that's not how the game works.
And
Although, yes, logically speaking, that would be correct.
write me if you have the time.
So you all start to get out the door, and Jonathan, before you leave, Captain Rivara says, "Jonathan, one moment before you go."
Of course.
So the rest of the party heads out the door, and he reaches into one of his bags, and he pulls out a small yellow, like kerchief, and he hands it over, and he says, "Now I know how much you love the Demon of Gameti,
Love him. He's my hero.
and I greatly appreciated your gift to me.
Of course.
So I can give you this gift that I once treasured. This is a kerchief that the demon himself gave to me, and I wish you to have it."
You got to meet Oh my. I'm going to give him my special rock.
No. That is yours.
Nothing comes free, sir. We only make trades where I come from.
Well,
It's only right.
I understand. Thank you. Again.
Oh, anytime. Thank you.
Yes.
I can't wait to show all the other guys.
Safe travels.
You as well. I'm going to roll it up and tie it around the top of my hat. Like a cowboy band.
Nice. All right, so you meet back up with your party, and you all start heading towards the docks.
Jonathan, where'd you get that yellow headband at?
It's from the Demon of Gameti.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah, I did too, but apparently Rivara met him once. I'm guessing
Rivara?
it was a battle.
Rivara gave you that bandana?
Yeah. We're friends, because I gave him that knife that I traded for.
Oh, you don't know about the yellow bandanas and gentlemen among gentlemen? I think he's sweet on you.
He's sweet on me?
Yeah.
Why would you do?
Well, it's a rumor, but I heard among other soldiers that men who give other men yellow scarves are, well, you could say they got a little sugar in the tank, if you know what I mean.
I have not a fucking clue what you mean.
That is Gameti's colors, Jake.
Mm.
Like his house
Austin.
colors.
Oh, no,
Arwia's,
Austin.
Arwia's
Like-
colors.
Don't you read the stories? This is the colors of Arwia. Gameti
All
was
right, all right.
warrior. He was not. Gameti
That-
was not sweet on anyone but his wife.
If that's the story you're sticking to, I'll believe you. But if you need to talk to, if the captain touched you or offered you something, we're here to talk about it. No judgment.
See, that bandana is your in with his daughter now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So we're gonna have to come back here, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah.
We had to come back here no matter what we told you.
I that's a good point. We're delivering ships, right? We're not, I guess sending him freight on board, huh?
Mm-hmm. So you
Good.
guys head back down to the docks and find your ship that you're supposed to be on. You go and talk with the captain, show him the note, and you do have Kylan in tow. And the captain responds, "Oh, yes. This would be no problem. We are prepared to leave immediately."
Is this one of those airships, or is this a seafaring ship?
It is an airship.
Good. And I'm about 99% sure no stowaways this time. Right, Kylan?
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe we should have her go down and check below decks.
I'm about to say, Tyler, did you bring someone?
No?
Well, if you don't mind, Captain, I'd like to get aboard and find where I can lay my head to rest for these journeys.
Yeah,
Hey, Captain?
of course.
Do you think you could show... Herschel's a wonderful mechanic, and, I was just kind of curious if maybe you could show us the engine room?
I don't see why not.
I just want to see how it works. Herschel, you think you can help me figure it out?
I do believe so.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd like to do while we rest.
Okay. So the sailors finish their preparations, and they start their seaward journey on the waters, leaving the bay area. Once they get far enough distance away, the ship begins to rise up in the air, gaining altitude until it gets to its cruising altitude. At which point the captain comes and finds you and says, now would be the time that we could go look at the engines.
Herschel, do you want to come?
Absolutely.
So he
Hey,
leads you.
Sly, you should come too.
Is he drunk already?
Sylvester, are you hammered?
Is he here? Hello?
Probably went to find more whiskey.
Brother Thompson?
I think you did because I told him I was drinking some earlier.
Possibly.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, can we bring Sylvester with us?
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Where are we
so...
going?
Oh, wait, he said it. He said it.
Oh, of course.
There it is. So,
Sly,
Yeah.
would you mind coming with us to check out these engines? I'm really curious how they work.
Yeah, I think I might know a thing or two about engines. I could come take a look with you. Maybe Herschel will teach me a thing or two, too.
Yeah.
You too.
You too.
so he leads you down to the engine room. And there's this large crystalline-looking object with several discs kind of rotating around it, with several cables kind of hooked up to this rigid circular structure that's holding these rotating discs and the crystalline structure in the center. And these discs are just kind of orbiting around in different directions around this crystal. There's lots of cables and stuff connected to the rigid structure itself, and it kind of runs through the ships, like up through the rafters, and just kind of all throughout the ship. So this is the main engine, where we derive the fuel, which provides the thrust to propel us through the air.
What kind of fuel does it use?
Well, we are not quite sure. All I know is that Arabella finds these crystalline structures and are able to do some sort of wizardry with them to make them provide thrust.
Trust.
Now, not necessarily wizardry in the traditional sense, but technological wizardry.
Oh. Herschel, do you know what part, like... So, like, is there something that regulates, like altitude, or...
I would imagine that the way that the crystal seems to be working here is a form of lift generation. And, it would make sense for a
Yes, the cables allow
way to temper that.
the
So
field.
that you could control your, flight up and down, and then you would just need a propeller on the back to move in any direction you want.
Yes, the cables allow the force to propagate to specific areas in the ship. And we have a series of switches that allow us to turn on which points receive that propagation.
This is really confusing. Herschel, have you figured it out yet?
Being that we are, members of the Arabella outfit, it has given me some time to study blueprints that they have left around.
Oh.
So
Do you guys keep blueprints on here for, like, fixing the ship?
There is a mechanic, yes.
Oh, okay.
But the field generation is very stable.
Yes. Would be a wise way to keep it.
Typically, most of the damage occurs upon landing.
Well, Captain, my general, question I might have for you is, are we authorized to make a unspecified stop, or is this a one-way, one landing kind of trip?
Well, I suppose that depends. The orders do say to take you to Messinapoda.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
destination would you be desired in going to?
Well, we were told by Glint of Arabella himself to meet another airship in Drogar,
I see.
so that we may secure passage back to Mesopinata. And I think that it would only be proper and professional of us to make that stop ourselves, so that we might at least tell them that we will no longer be requiring their transport.
I see. I don't suppose that would be a problem to make a slight pit stop. I suppose, due to the immediate nature of our departure, I don't see why we couldn't have forgotten some supplies.
Supplies, or maybe we needed to let the engines cool off, or we something that would require us to make a semi-emergency landing.
Oh, definitely. But those emergency landings can be costly sometimes.
Yes,
I don't know if you have anything that could assist in offsetting those costs.
Oh, I do hear what you're saying. I do think that we would, we would feel awful if we had to force you fellers to spend the evening or two on the ship, and it'd only be right to put you up in an inn and maybe give you a tab at the bar for your troubles.
Because we were definitely not prepared to have 8 extra passengers on board, so I don't see why it would be a problem to stop and purchase more supplies.
Understood. Now, when
So-
you say you weren't prepared to have 8 extra passengers, were your directions not to be prepared to transport us?
Well, yes. But the number was never specified.
Understood. Well, then let's specify it and say that that would be the reason for us requiring an additional landing.
It seems that we are on the same page then.
Well, that is it is always good.
Okay. Very nice. Do we want to continue, or do we want to pause?
Seeing how as I have no idea who's still actually here.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here. I didn't go down with y'all into the ship room, which is why I was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Handled very well, though.
Very well.
I hear Jake typing, so I'm assuming he's still here.
I'm here.
I'm assuming Austin is still looking for whiskey.
He's been looking for whiskey for a while.
He was here earlier, but then he left again, it sounded like. We're just on an airship, right?
Yep.
I think that's usually our safe point.
Headed to Dogar.
Yeah, we do autosave, right?
Yeah,
If we need to reset anything.
That is our typical spot for autosave is when we're on an airship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Marsh.
Yeah, see?
Too many buttons.
Wait, Austin's back.
I didn't leave.
Oh. You didn't respond to us earlier?
He's just deaf.
Oh, well, I did take a piss for like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. You were gone for an hour.
Hmm.
You missed everything.
Yes.
We fought a war and defeated everyone.
Yes, victory is ours. Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly!
What the fuck?
Congratulations.
No, we're on an airship and we're headed to Dogar. What else is there to know?
About it.
Yeah, you pretty much wrapped it up.
Perfect.
That was an excellent one-line sum up. Oh,
Alright,
and we have the room and open bar tab of the crew while they're there.
Sounds like that's going to be expensive.
I think me and old Jonathan will work out some games to pay off those tabs. We're good at that.
Did y'all win anything last time?
Yeah, we won.
No,
We didn't
you
win
did not.
enough, but we won.
Well,
That's all
I'm
you're on
excited.
to.
I'm excited to see how that pans out.
It was a beta trial.
We didn't even break out the dice yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
we barely
Wow.
got through the drinking game.
It's going to be key.
Yeah, the key is to drink when the drinking game starts, not before.
I think that's fair.
I've been fucking doing it wrong.
Or if you're trying to play someone, I'd say the key is to not let them know that you're not drinking. And that way you get them drunk and you can play them easier.
Yeah, but let's be realistic. That's not happening either.
It's fair.
I met a guy that bought me shots last weekend. He was my bartender.
Wait, why did your bartender buy you shots?
I don't know. It's something I'm good at.
Okay.
He wasn't my bartender when I saw him last, but I recognized him.
But,
Pretty
so is the
impressive.
plan, once we get to Dogar, are we going to Mokdun straight from there?
I believe so, yes.
And what are the chances that it gets back that we dipped off into Dogar into Mokdun?
Oh, we're gonna kill the crew.
Very
Oh,
low
okay.
if you give them enough alcohol.
Oh, was that the thing I missed? Is that we're gonna
Yeah.
kill the crew?
No, God no. We're just
Oh.
gonna give them an open bar and a tavern. They're sailors. They're not gonna leave the place.
Oh well, I could have done that on the ship.
What, kill them?
And all
No,
they have to
well,
do
yes,
is
but
get
them too drunk
go
to
to
remember.
Mochdin or go to Messapanata
Yeah,
and
how,
just say
how
that
many sailors are there? Do you think you could fly this ship, Herschel?
I'm
I
gonna
don't-
go with no.
I also don't think it's a great idea to show up with a ship with like I don't know what happened to the crew, but we flew it back. Here's your ship back.
Yeah.
No,
Also,
we're not
yeah.
doing
If his crew doesn't return, I don't think he's gonna be that happy.
No.
no. What I'm saying is the
We
crew of
have
this
to-
ship, they drop us off, and then they just continue the trip to Messapanata like they were supposed to do, and they were going to do anyways because that's what they were commanded to do. And they go back home, and hopefully, mum's the word that we dipped off if we can convince them. They still made the trip, and
Mhm.
I'm starting to lean more towards shit. Yeah. That's gonna be rough. I don't know how we keep from this getting back to Unity.
yeah, it's
You
going to
just-
be a tough one.
I mean, it's a bunch of. The only people who know we're going is the sailors, right?
Which
If
who
that's-
can be bought off, I guess.
Yeah, if you just give them an open bar and a tavern for as long as they want it, I don't. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm a sailor and I can drink for free, I'm never leaving that fucking bar.
No, and you don't give two shits who's doing what, where, when, how.
Exactly.
The captain
Until we show back up and we're like, okay, we can go now. They won't even know how much time has passed.
Mhm.
No.
Well, for the
Unless
captain, we might be able to
sun
find
goes up and down.
a lady friend as well.
I will say this though, if in our deal with Unity, he was requesting us to go back to Mespinata and deliver the order as fast as possible. Though Glint did say that he didn't want us to come back until we made all of our sales pitches, we couldn't have foreseen the fact that our customer wanted us to go back as fast as possible. So it's not like we're going back to finish the mission. We're just going back to deliver the first sales receipt and then go back out on the road. And so
And we
even
didn't
if we
fulfill our sales goal within one sales call.
yeah, so it's like even if we did go all the way back to Messapanata, so we're not making Unity mad. We don't have to go make a whole big deal with Glint. Just say, hey, here's a sales order for Unity. It's a pretty good one, isn't it? Wink, wink. And then can we get? Is there a ship headed towards Mockdoon that we could take?
Well, actually, wouldn't we make our sales call in Mokdoon while we're in Mokdoon? Since that's where we're headed before we even get back to
That's
Mespinata.
not what I was saying. I was saying not go to Mockdoon now. Just take the ship all the way back to Mespinata. Explain to Glint that literally the only reason why we're coming back is because Unity wanted his order in right away. So here's his order. Look how big it is, and then go to Mockdoon.
Look at this huge order.
That would go around the whole problem of Unity knowing where and to and from we go because we're on his ship.
And it's like, yeah, I guess Glint and Arabella could be mad that we came back before we made all of our sales pitches, but at the same time, when we're coming back with more than what we even said we were going to do in the first place from the first one, I mean, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of leeway in order to um, get another ship to go out. And more than likely, if he's making all these trips sending other people too, there's probably going to be another ship going towards Macdoon.
Makes
That's
sense.
what I think. That way we don't piss off Unity by trying to do something shady. And we're still making our sales, and we weren't going back to Mesfinata to just be like, alright, we're done. We just had to, this got thrown into the deal with Unity. He was very clear he wanted the order dropped off as soon as possible. It was a part of the deal. We had to go back.
Yeah.
makes the sense.
That's what I think, because that's just me personally, not necessarily Doc's point of view, but that's just me personally thinking about it logically. Because if not, there's way more chance that we're pissing a lot of people off
You're not wrong.
who apparently have the power to kill gods.
I think that still might be a little bit up to interpretation, as he might just be nuts.
That's very possible too.
Yeah, I guess I was just trying to get. I don't want the manufacturing to start on his ships prior to Mokdoon's. Is really all I was trying to. I was trying to get both orders in at the same time.
Yeah, they don't have to start, but at least that way it's not. It's like if Unity asks us, it's like, well, we delivered the orders as soon as possible. Your ship took us, we dropped it off. It's like it wasn't on us that manufacturing didn't start right away. Just because we dropped the order off doesn't mean manufacturing has to start right away.
No, I mean, I guess to me, I'm just wondering, like, if it would be okay for us to just make, like, a pit stop for, like, 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, that's really all it should probably take. How long does it take to walk from Dogar to Mokdoom? Seti? You still there?
From Dogar to Mokdoom?
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec. I can give you an estimate. Oh, shit. How far it is. It's about 200-ish miles.
Christ.
Yeah.
So that's like,
Get
a
in there,
week
fuck.
Probably 10 days.
or more.
That's so
Yeah, it's
violent.
like it's a little over a week that we'd have to pit stop. So their journey to Mesfanada and back takes a week longer. Unity's like, hey, why'd it take so long? I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of loose ends. And I feel like there's just less loose ends if we just go back, drop the stuff off. We don't even have to do anything in Mesfanada and just try and hop on a ship.
Oh, what? All right.
I feel like y'all don't agree with this, which is fine.
No, to me, I just don't really know, like, whether they're gonna say we stopped in Drogar for 2 days.
Gonna be more than 2 days though.
Potentially.
It's
You think
200 miles to go to Mokdoom.
You think we convince them to just stop in Mokdoom?
No,
for a day and a half.
That's the enemy's territory.
Well, so is Dogar.
Yeah.
I guess so.
It's all the same country, and it's not an enemy yet.
But we did already tell him that we wanted to go to Dogar.
Yeah, there has, as of yet, been no conflict between the 100 Nations and Mokdoom.
That's fair.
There's been posturing of forces, but there has been no conflict. So there'd be no reason for them. We're not the enemy yet. He's still busy aggregating all the 100 Nations together. I don't think he's conquered. I don't think he's gotten all of them to join yet. Has he?
Mm-mm. Well,
I don't think all of them, maybe.
I think all the gray cities he has from the map.
Seti, is he done uniting the 100 Nations? Do we know that yet?
Not quite done, no.
Okay.
He still has some of the, like, Rubati and Davki and Anatu and Shala. Kind of that little region, and Alatu. So
Okay.
the southeastern.
Your logic's sound.
Okay, so we could probably just stop in Mokdoom for a day, and then leave the next day.
So we just tell the captain of the ship, oh wait, we lied about the drop-off location.
Actually, we could tell him the truth, and that Kyla needs to see her family.
And say we don't need a ship back. We're already on a ship back.
Jake, whatever you're playing is making me dizzy in 4D.
Oh, you don't like it?
I can't watch.
Or we got word that they moved
I
the
like
location to Mokdoom.
How would we on word?
Fucking
Messenger
telepathic.
pigeon?
Telepathic.
You guys are flying on a spaceship, but you need a messenger pigeon.
Are there any
An airship.
instantaneous communication spells
Like a
that could
ship.
account
Oh,
for
we
that?
have one. Alec gave us one.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
go far.
that has a range limit.
Yeah, maybe the people that are more powerful than us have a more powerful version of it.
That's a good point. They don't know the range limit of that thing.
As far
But
as
it's also illegal to use those things in Mokdun or in Mespinata, so it would be assumed that
I
our
bet
leader.
Reggie knows. I
for
bet Reggie
normal
knows a thing
people.
or two.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
So
in for
then
anything. I'm in for
knows
anything,
way
but
around
that's
that.
just what I thought would be the better option.
Oh, you're dead.
there was no place to go. I need to go to a better place.
You're dead, bitch. Jake, I'm playing Italy Jungle.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What made you do that?
I don't know. Feeling just delicious. Playing
It-
Snow Bunny in Italy.
It's difficult. I gave you that skin.
You'll never
Yeah,
get
I
that.
think
I'm playing.
yeah. It's
I've
Garrett.
already-
Surprise.
Hey, you know what? How about you give him a chance to fucking guess? All right, you fucking.
Sorry,
party
y'all
pooper.
finish your D&D shit before I talk.
Or don't.
I think we're in the dregs.
Dregs.
Yeah, I mean, we can just put it to a vote whenever everyone's on at the beginning. We're
Remember
at a stopping point, so
Whether or not we go to Esplanade or stop in Dogar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or try and
I'm good
convince
with
them to
Or
go to.
try and or try and convince him to take us to Mokdun instead.
Yeah, I didn't realize that
or
was
that.
200 miles. That is explaining away, a 10 or 12 day stop is a lot harder than explaining a 1 or 2 day
1 or
stop
2 day
to
stop.
resupply.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Makes sense. I think if we're going to enemy territory, there really shouldn't be much difference between Dogar and Mokdun. But I definitely think there's an argument to go to Mesplanada and then go to Mesplanada back to Mokdun.
right.
That does.
I mean, it makes sense.
There's only really 2 downsides, I feel like, to actually going to Mespinata first. One, Glenn could get mad and, I don't know, try and kill us because we didn't make both of our sales pitches. Or 2, there's not a ship ready to take us immediately back to.
Oh, and then it's a long time before we get to even go talk to the people.
Yeah.
Well,
Which, I mean, that's not
it's a
terrible.
main trade hub though, so I
It
imagine
is
there's ships
making
going
difficult
constantly.
because then what's it called? He might run his ships before we could even get ships out to Mokdun.
Mhm.
Which is kind of the whole point, because we don't want one side to crush, or else we're not selling more.
But we can still. I mean, Arabella can say
And
there's
if one side
delays
crushes,
because of the quantity of ships he's ordering.
then
But,
they can
they
also
can.
come crush us.
Playing against.
And I thought that was the whole point of us, leaving him in a state of war.
Yeah. But the other thing is,
Is protecting our own heinies.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like, though, I don't know, based off of where we're at in our group, I feel like we're taking on a lot more than what Arabella is actually asking us to do. Technically, we were supposed to go on a sales mission.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. And we did half of it.
But it's let the higher powers deal with what they want to deal with for now. I mean, there's only so much we can influence right now anyways. We're not quite higher powers yet. We can, obviously try and make moves or whatever, but... we ain't no level 10s.
Mm-mm.
Ain't no level 10.
We're a in-debt startup group trying to do a sales pitch to some world leaders.
Well, my
Good shit,
vote's gonna-
Austin.
Although, Doc did just come up with a possible plan.
Yes. Teach us your ways, Doc.
We land in Humphrey Bogart to resupply,
Mhm.
as we just made the deal with this new kind captain. Somehow, either one of the crew, the captain, one of our party gets kidnapped and taken to Makdoon. We now have to stall the trip to go after whoever just got kidnapped in order to find them. So the reason why it took so long in our should have been just a 1 day pit stop was because something crazy happened the night of the bar when we were drinking at the bars. Got someone upset. Someone disappears. We have to go find them.
Our airship broke.
Our airship broke. We could get a little sneakier and do something like that, which could justify a longer pit stop and us going into Makdoon from Dogart.
On his bot side.
I really like airship broke. They don't have the parts in Dogar to fix it. We got to travel to Makdoon to get them.
I also like that.
That is a great out.
And if they have the parts in Dogart, then we just fake capture the captain.
Yeah.
I kind of want to capture someone.
Obviously.
So that is option. I think that's option 4. Option 1, go to Mesfanat. Option 2, I don't know, go to Dogart. Option 3, try and get him to switch it and take us into
Not
Makdoon.
fast.
4 is create a stalling plan.
I don't know if y'all saw that. That was some slick work from your boy.
Super
There's no story without coincidence.
Oh,
For all you riders out there.
I wasn't sure where she was.
Bro, what is this?
I don't know. Oh,
Oh.
that's what that is. I have my ult, but
Yeah, don't use it.
no. Oh, there's 3 of them. What is this?
Well, guys,
Uh-uh.
I think I'm going to get off.
Good night, friend.
Adios. It was a pleasure.
Copy that.
We'll talk to you soon.
Catch you guys later.
All right, sounds
man.
good.
Yeah.
See ya.